So this is bottom yard Phantom House stables. We've got these 25 boxes. This was the first Group 1 when I trained. I was only 28 years old, so I think the youngest trainer in South Africa to win this race.
Strategic news and Glenn Schofield won't take the glory.
He's just retired.
Cunha, this is a dream come true.
He's probably the most hardworking person I've ever come across. He's incredibly determined.
Very hardworking, very committed, and he loves what he's doing.
I think this was my last flight actually. Took a picture on my last flight. That was it.
He worked his way up really quickly to become an airline pilot.
That really taught me a lot. It really manned me up. Then got into probably South Africa's best airline at the time, Mango Airlines. It was a great job. Yo, what's happening? Where's Harry? Okay, is he bringing a saddle?
He's on his phone 24/7. He's really determined and ambitious.
He must work 16, 18 hours every single day. You know, he's here every day, whether staff are on or off duty. He's here, that's what he loves doing.
Have you seen your noseband? John, look at Amber's noseband. It's not done up. How would I describe myself? Highly motivated and energetic, hardworking, pretty chilled most of the time, but sharp enough to be on the ball. Can't get much better than that. I hate shortcuts. I like things to be done properly. I'm Dylan Cunha, originally from Durban in South Africa, 43 years old and now training at Phantom House in Newmarket. I worked for the champion trainer in South Africa for 4 years, so I knew what hard work was like. So when I started training, I had the right grounding. It was really hard work. I started with 4 horses. I was 25. Within 3 years at 28, I'd won a Group 1. I took a break from training, which was a good thing because it really matured me. I was always flying, so I continued flying and did an airline career. It taught me about responsibility, and it actually just taught me to just stay level-headed. The airline I was working for closed down. COVID expedited everything.
We decided at the time that, you know what, with COVID, Dylan ending his airline career, we're going to have to come to a new country. That's how we decided to move as a family over here. We packed our suitcases, sold everything that we owned, and arrived on the 13th of November 2020.
I went to auctioneering school during lockdown, which was lovely, and had a great time. Tried to get into Tattersalls and Goffs. That didn't work out. My dad said to me, why don't you were a good trainer, you were young, and he said, why don't you try it again? And I was like, oh God, no.
Silver Sword with a 3-length advantage, chased in vain by Indiana B. Silver Sword, well backed, cuts his rivals down.
Dylan, he's got that know-how. It seems, inherent. Like if you talk to me about pedigrees, I've got that same type of skill. It's inherent. It doesn't just come from, reading books and reading pedigrees. You have to actually live them and see them in pictures and that kind of thing. And I think Dylan is, very much in the same mold.
This one's just come back from the gallop on the Alba Hatchery. He gets his legs clayed. It basically keeps his legs cold. It's like an ice bath for a human, I would say. That'll keep it cold most of the day, for the next 8 to 10 hours anyway. You're here to train athletes, so that's part of training athletes. I mean, if you're doing human athletes, it'll be the same thing. You have to have extreme nerve to be a trainer. You have to be able to handle extreme disappointment and extreme highs, and you have to be able to take it with a pinch of salt. I think when I was younger, I got so disappointed and so excited. Now I don't get that excited or that disappointed. It's just pretty much whether they win or lose, I pretty much feel the same.
Gold medal coming right through between them, and it's going to be another win for gold medal on the podium again.
He's an exceptionally good horseman. I think the sky's the limit, really. He doesn't cut any corners.
There's a third dimension to training racehorses, and that is your eye, your gut, and the feel you get. That's, for me, his biggest strength. That's not something you can learn. You've either got it or you don't have it.
You see this guy, I'll show you. Kiss him. They don't have to film you. Just come and do it. Just kiss him. He loves it. Just kiss him. He's just look at his. And this guy, have a look at him. Watch his eyes. He closes his eyes. Look at him. He just closes his eyes and he's like a girl. What I enjoy about training? I honestly enjoy being around the horses the most. We're small enough to spend a lot of time focusing on every horse individually, so they don't all do the same thing, which I think is why we have a little advantage and have quite a high strike rate. You'll see all our horses are really friendly. They get a lot of attention. You'll notice during the day.
Dylan and I have actually been at school since we were 13 years old. Dylan was probably the naughtiest boy in school. He was always getting into trouble. He was a beachgoer come surfer. His first impressions, very naughty child.
This is a new lad.
Nice looking horse, isn't he?
Yeah, he's nice. I think they've been running him over too far. These ones are just going to do one up Warren Hill. Just watch these ones. Go. In South Africa, I trained at a place called Summerveld, which, if I think back now, was, I think, probably built on the basis of Newmarket. They've got a Warren Hill at Summerveld, built exactly like this. The facilities here, obviously there's a lot more. I think there's 51 miles of all-weather tracks here. Personally, I think it's the nicest place in the world to live, if you like horses. These are ours coming up here. That's a new horse we got in front. Ace Rothstein, and then there's an Ectadar 2-year-old unraced and a Saxon Warrior 2-year-old unraced. At the moment, while the other babies are working like the old horses, they're just doing one canter a day, and they'll just do that for the next 2 months until probably in midsummer, and then we'll start cracking on with them. I just like to see them moving well, they're enjoying it, especially afterwards. I think every trainer's biggest concern is how they're breathing. I would say that's the thing I'm most concerned about, is how a horse is breathing, because if they can't breathe, they can't run. Clean-winded is what you want. And then obviously moving well, and then going home settled, not sweating up, not stressed. You want them to go home relaxed and get into their food. That's the dream, but it doesn't always work like that. Okay, good. Okay, Fred. See, that's what you want, what I was saying. You want them walking home relaxed, not sweating. Those lads will get home now fresh. If you see them coming down here and they're sweating and stressing, then something's not right. And those are the kind of things you're always looking for. This is one of the problems we have with the small yard growing, is our tack room is tight. We need a bigger yard, but there are just no bigger yards in Newmarket. You'd have to beat me with a stick out of Newmarket.
We're running out of space. You know, if we had 10 more boxes, I'm sure within a month it'd be full. The yard's growing, there's a lot of support. It's hard to come from outside of England, no one knows you. They ask questions, they get to learn about you, but to try and do what Dylan's done in a short space of time, it's only going to go one way, and that's up.
You know, we're very serious about what we're doing. You know, what we want, to get the stable to the top very, very soon. We want to be winning a Group 1 within 3 years, like we did back in South Africa. We plan to do the same thing here, get into the group races as early as possible.
Like any trainer, you obviously need the support on the horses in the yard. We're here to win the derby, so hopefully sometime soon that we'll be ticking that box.
Arabella started taking your lad up there. Is the end box. You're basically going to go in a bunch up the railway gallop. Nice and tight. Johnny Boy will lead you guys. This is why you need experienced riders, because you're bringing 2-year-olds down here for the first time, and you want them to get all the confidence on their first experience in a gallop with a bunch of horses with someone who's going to give them confidence. This could possibly be the most experienced 5 lads in Newmarket on a horse right now. That's crazy. Here they come. You want to get them. Be more fun than me. They did well without a lead horse. I'll have to go and give them a leg. One of the things we do is, after, I keep 3 boxes of beer there, and after the stables, or when we're done, it's always there, and the lads, it's theirs. So they don't drink. They have 2 beers each after stables or whatever. 1 beer. Sometimes they don't have any. On a hot day like today, those will be finished properly. But they like it. It's one of the reasons they enjoy coming riding here. They say, after work, have a beer, go home, relax. It's nice. Come in here, you can look through here if you want old pictures, because like I said, they're piled up everywhere here. This was the first Group 1 winner I trained. Summer Cup's probably the biggest race in, well, it is the biggest race in Johannesburg. I actually planned this race for 9 months. I've never been under so much pressure. We backed him from 100 to 1 to 12 to 1. And he won easily, he won well. It was the most stressful day I've ever had. Yeah, it was very stressful. It was a lot of money on him, a lot of stress. It was not enjoyable, no. Didn't enjoy one moment of that. There's a nice one of me riding a winner back in the day. This picture here, this is in 2001. That's me, that's a champion trainer in South Africa now, Justin Snaith. This is me riding a winner on one of his horses, Northern Taxi. I had 10 rides, 3 winners, great trainer to work for. But I was Lester Piggott back then. Also another horse, this horse, big pressure, big gamble, and he bolted up. He won by 3 1/4 lengths. So I've got these snippets.
Gangster Fury hooked to the outside for a run, and
big
behind that Soul
3-year-old
Patrol.
sprint.
But it's Gold Game in front. Dylan Cunha's runner with about 100 metres left to go, and Gold Game is going on really nicely in the closing stages. And an impressive sort. The Brazilian Gold Game wins it comfortably.
Those are the things we did there, and those are the things we're trying to do here this year. Whatever we did in South Africa seems to be happening here, which is good to know, because racing here, racing there, I mean, stronger racing here, but we train stronger horses, so whether you can do the job or not, and I'm loving it. I didn't enjoy this. This was pressure and stress. I'm loving this, really loving it.
I'm extremely proud of him. He's done really well. He's got an incredible brain on him. He spends a lot of time with the horses, which is really great. Yeah, I'm very proud of where he's come.
I'm proud of it, but I'm not resting on the laurels. Our focus is to keep a high quality strength and keep it under control, 40 to 60 horses. That would be living the dream.